Hey everyone, it's time for another sitcom intro, and this is the intro to all retro sitcom reviews. That's sitcoms such as The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which I've already done, but I'm gonna do again in webcam form. The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Steve Harvey, which I've also already done. Steve Harvey, Full House, Full House franchise, the Saved by the Bell franchise, the Cosby Show franchise, Boy Meets World, Family Matters, Sister Sister, Sister Sister, yeah, Sister Sister, Smart Guy, Keenan and Kel, Clarissa Explains All, the retro Nickelodeon sitcoms, and the teenage Sabrina, the quote unquote teenage witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, What I Like About You, George Lopez, My Wife and Kids, which I think I've already done again, and so many more I can't think of. I can't think of. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but since my new style, I review them season by season. But it's kind of hard to remember each season in great detail, and some of these are just way too long to review in seasons. So what I'm gonna do is, first, I'm just gonna do a long overview and review of the entire series from what I do remember from the series. Then I'm gonna rewatch and then do the season reviews, because you know how, just like with Dragon Ball Evolution, Mortal Kombat, The Avengers, and many more movies and franchises on here, I like doing multiple. I just like doing multiple reviews. So multiple reviews and rants. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on with the sitcoms. But this is the intro to all retro quote unquote sitcoms. There'll be another one for the retro Disney Channel sitcoms. I already have one for the late 2010s, and I think I need to do one for the 2020s Disney Channel sitcoms. So with that being said, let's get started right now. everybody. It's time. It's time for one of my first uploaded retro sitcom reviews. I've done sitcom reviews before, but I haven't uploaded any of them. And the last two retro sitcoms I did were Steve Harvey Show, the three actually: Steve Harvey Show, My Wife and Kids, and I think The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in 2020. Yeah, I've been meaning to do these for a while, but remember, I started off with a new style, a short part one narration and a larger webcam. From now on, since I don't feel like finding a bunch of pictures for the part one narration, I'm just gonna do short webcam version, especially if I've seen this show before and feel I have enough for a short part one narration. But if I don't have enough for a large webcam version and I don't know much about the show, I'll still continue to do the narration. But after just I've accidentally seen almost the entire series that I'm about to review now, and this is the obscure Nickelodeon sitcom, early 2000s sitcom Taina, starring actress Christina Vidal, who I remember her. I'll talk more about that later. Yeah, starring her and several other familiar and obscure faces in this show. Yeah, Taina. I remember Taina back in the early 2000s. Taina is pretty much the prototypical Nickelodeon That's So Raven, Hispanic That's So Raven, and a much superior version of Victoria. It's actually probably everything Victoria should have been and wasn't. Victoria's was a guilty pleasure, but watching that show now, that show hasn't aged well. This show has aged much better, despite being 10 years older than Victoria. This show has aged very well. This takes me back to an awesome time period in the early 2000s, and it's just a huge nostalgia overload, seeing several familiar scenes, characters, and actors. Taina is about Christina Vidal's character, who in the first episode enrolls in a gigantic theater art-based schools with dreams and aspirations of being a singer and actress, and the plots usually feature the misadventures of her best female friend, Afro-American Renee, I think her last name is Armstrong, portrayed by Kalia Adams, who looks and sounds just like Keke Palmer. When I saw this, I'm like, this can't be Keke Palmer. She has to be 7 or 8 at the time. And no, it's just an actress who looks like her, the prototypical actress to what Keke Palmer would be. Keke Palmer's entire her entire style of acting and and jokes were featured with this character and this actress, character and actress first, yeah, and then you got their friends Lamar, and I keep forgetting their Caucasian. Well, what is their Caucasian friend? Yeah, you got legendary actor Chris Knowings as Lamar Johnson, who they called in the pilot Le Martian, and David Oliver Cohen as Nathaniel McDaniel. Yeah, follows her and the rival character who is pretty much an anti-hero. There are several episodes where she's the antagonist, but there's also episodes where she's an ally to Taina and her friends, and that is Latangela's Newsom's Marissa Hogg. Yeah, Marissa Hogg. I've seen almost the entire series. I've seen almost the entire series except for the season 2 and series finale. Yeah, I still gotta watch that. I accidentally watched the entire series by playing it overnight. I like to while I'm working on my project. You see the boxes on the bed and the boxes back there. When I'm working on my projects, I like to play something in the background. In the background, play a long television show or a long video in the background while I work on my projects. It keeps me on task. Anyway, so that's how I accidentally saw the entire series. And it's only 2 seasons. The show was canceled. The show was canceled very quickly, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to my enjoyment of the show. But like I said, nostalgia overloaded. Going back to the That's So Raven comparisons, and not only is it That's So Raven, it's a Saved by the Bell comparison. I think it even uses that same set. That's So Raven have it too. That same set is from Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. And the only thing different is the colors. The colors. That school setting. That school setting from That's So Raven. It was in Saved by the Bell first, and it was also present here in Taina. In Taina, that's why I call it the prototypical That's So Raven. This show also draws comparisons to Moesha. However, I don't think this show is anything like Moesha, which I'm going to talk about much later. I don't think this show is anything like Moesha because Moesha was a lot more serious and a lot more darker than these Nickelodeon and Disney shows. The Nickelodeon and Disney shows, they had serious topics, but they were mostly lighthearted, campy, and kind of goofy compared to the UPN and other television network sitcoms. So yeah, and watching this now, Nickelodeon, not only is this show awesome, this is what Nickelodeon needs to get back to. They need to get back to sitcoms like Taina, Kenan and Kel, Clarissa Explains All, Drake and Josh, What I Like About You, What I Like About You, which is not a Nickelodeon sitcom, but Dan Snyder was involved with that. Was involved and co-created that show. Who used to work for Nickelodeon, and True Jackson VP, one of their last really good shows they had. That's what Nickelodeon needs to get back to when it comes to live action programming. The cartoon and animation so far, with the exception of the overabundance of SpongeBob rerun, SpongeBob, the overexposure of SpongeBob cartoon, the animation is fine, but your live action stuff is terrible. They need to get back to this. Yes, they need to get back to this style. And another thing I love about this style, live studio audience. Firstly, when it comes to my situation comedies, either no laughter or sound effects in the background. The only laughter and sound effects I want to hear in the background are from the characters on screen. Screen like old shows like Malcolm in the Middle and Even Stevens and those type of shows. Or if you gotta have sound effects in the background, it better be an audience laughing at everything. And yes, people say, why you want an audience? Because the audience makes you try. You see a lot of these shows now, they have this canned laughter, laughing at everything that isn't funny, because they know no one would show up at the tapings for these shows, and people who do show up, they would not be laughing. There will be cricket sounds in the audience, and the producers know that, so they take the easy route and use these laugh tracks, which is a betrayal. Which, in my opinion, is betrayal for the actors, especially when you have a really good sitcom. Despite my hatred of laugh tracks, there are some good sitcoms out there with them. So, yeah, Taina. So yeah, Taina. Singing is great too, including Taina's epic theme song, where she sings in the intro, which, like I said, which I almost forgot. I gotta play the episode in the background. So yeah, that's so yeah, that's Taina. So yeah, that's Taina. So yeah, the acting, the singing, the background sets, the cast, the cast, the cast of characters, actors and actresses. Everything about this show is phenomenal. The only things I don't like about this show are there's lots of there's lots of bad overacting by some of the characters, especially Christina Vidal's Taina. Taina, Taina based character. Taina based character. Taina based character. Lots of dumb, stupid. That's some dumb, stupid, unrealistic moments that I couldn't point out as a kid, but could now. And three characters. I like all the characters, but sometimes Taina, yes, with the character, one of the characters I like the most, and I'm the most invested in Taina, her little brother, and the main antagonist, Marissa. The rival character Marissa occasionally get on my nerves. Taina is a great, good-hearted character. It is a great role model for younger viewers. A character anyone could easily get behind. However, there are episodes where she tries to take the easy way out, or the shortcut on the road to success. And even I in real life have had problems when I try to take a shortcut to the road of success. And even when her parents forbid it, she either goes behind their back and does it anyway, or argues with them when they just have their best interest in her. Such as in one episode, she annoyed me where she wanted to drop out of school for a musical recording deal. I can relate to this a little bit. I definitely want to start my childhood dreams of sports and various forms of entertainment early, but I was still committed to completing school first. From now on, it's all jealous. I was still continuing to complete school first, or starting those things while still staying in high school. If those things that prevented me from completing high school, then I would just have to give up on them until high school was over. So yeah. Then you got Then you got a little brother who in one episode with him with a pony, he did something wrong, and his reasons for doing it wrong was so he could have this pony, and it was a toy pony, I think, and it was annoying. And then you got Marissa, firstly issue I have with this character. Number one, she's every stereotype of every negative stereotype of Afro-American women. She's loud, arrogant, and obnoxious, and the worst, where's those wigs and weaves? Where's those tacky wigs and weaves? I can't believe that. Can't believe I was attracted to that, and that was presented as fine. And still to this day it's presented as fine as back in the day. So yeah. And her two-facedness just gets on my actually the two-facedness is sometimes it gets on my nerves, but it's sometimes funny. So yeah, that's tiny. So yeah, that's tiny. The first season is the most exciting. Season. The second season is vastly superior, as it was with most television shows. Yeah. Several episodes in season 2 and 3 episodes in season 1 are my favorite and best. I don't remember the season 2 ones very well, but the season 1 ones were the pilot you're listening to in the background. The second episode where Adrian Bailon's old group before the Cheetah Girls, 3LW, with Kylie Williams and Naturi Naughton, I think that's her name. 3LW guest stars as the Mean Girls. as the mean girls and antagonists of one episode. They were so good in this episode. This was one of the best episodes that I wish they had appeared more often in the in the series. And then episode 6, the psychic episodes, where one character, he was only in one episode, but I'm going to briefly pay tribute to him now because he's dead. But James, I think his name is James Coleman III. He was on Nickelodeon's 90s Gullah Gullah Island show, I think. Gullah Gullah Island show. He guest stars as RB, Renee's soulmate in his episode. He put on such an awesome performance. And it was both sad and surreal to hear that this guy right here was no longer with us. He died in 2021 of a drug overdose. He's one of the victims of the traumatic childhoods in Hollywood. But this guy, in his only episode appearance, stole the show and was hilarious. There was also a super hilarious subplot where Lamar and McDaniel got addicted to a video game that they refused to shower and everything, and kept stinking up the entire shop. And it was hilarious because it featured some of the most hilarious overacting from Taina, Renee, and the owner the owner of the bar, whose name I keep forgetting. So that was Taina. And speaking of Lamar, I remember his character and the other guy. I don't know why, but for some reason I remember them being idiots and dumbasses in the original, during my original Taina, which calls. But here, that's not the case. That's just not the case. They get into dumb and wacky situations and do stupid things, but they were pretty much normal. But I don't know why I remember them being dumbass, cartoonish based, buffoonish based characters. I don't know why. The Lamar, which you heard in the background, Lamar in Tights, the ballet, that's another thing I remember from my childhood. So seeing these things, oh man, I'm just injected with an awesome needle of nostalgia. Just had to review and talk about this show, especially since no one talks about it. People talk about it, but no one reviews it. Despite the fact the entire series is here on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you can find it in other places too. So yeah, Taina. I always wanted to watch this again, and I watched a couple of them back then. But the issue is, when it came to Nickelodeon, I liked their cartoons more, and when it came to watching TV, I loved Nickelodeon. But I was more Cartoon Network and Disney Channel, because when it came to cartoons, both Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, in my opinion, were better than Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network, I loved their new and current cartoons at the time, but it was their old stuff, which wasn't Cartoon Network, which was before Cartoon Network. The Hanna-Barbera, Ruby Spears, Warner Brothers, and others Warner Brothers Kids WB cartoons that I enjoyed more. So when it came to core new programming, Nickelodeon and Disney had Cartoon Network beat. But when it came to core programming, period, Nickelodeon and Disney and Cartoon Network had Nickelodeon beat. I like Nickelodeon's live action shows, but Disney Channel had better and more exciting live action shows. So I watch more of those. Cartoon Network didn't have any live action time, but they made up for it. They made up for it with more variety, including Japanese animation, action, and adventure cartoons of all genres. So that was
Well, I chose that monologue because those are the kind of parts I want to play.
So this was Taina. People who keep claiming Taina was canceled because of it only appealed to one demographic, you're wrong. And people who also keep trying to claim racism, that wasn't the case. It was problems between Taina's managers and Nickelodeon, and Taina just didn't want to cooperate, so they canceled this show and replaced it with Romeo, which the last part is out of was on Wikipedia, and it's said to be from Christina Vidal herself.
I'm heading back to Queens. She'll be here soon.
And that's why Christina Vidal disappeared from the spotlight for a while. It never became as big as she did. I remember her just being big, and Taina being big, and then it just quickly vanished. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, this review right here was a short introduction to a larger.
Is Taina so famous now she can't use a key to let us
Oh yeah, it was a short introduction to the season reviews, season 1 and 2, and I'm also gonna do the post-episode review and reaction. I'm thinking about a good to evil for Taina too. So with that being said, you want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
It was Poopy Mommy, the goldfish food, and the rabbit food, and some boy named Paul.
What are we doing now? We're coming back for more. Is it me, or have we been here before? Why don't we go somewhere that we can explore? So let's get away from here, run to where the skies are clear, and we'll go back in time to another world where we'll feel alive. We don't have to worry, we'll be by my side. There's nowhere we can't go, and you can be my guide, as long as you don't run to fly. Take me there, take me anywhere you want to go, to a place that we both know. With you here, there is nothing left for us to fear. We'll make the bad guys disappear.
She lost all her baby fat years ago.
So let's go back.